Hi, greetings. My name is Amira Sankofa Kwali, and of course, I'm with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. I definitely want to really get people to understand on the terms of life and how we have to really progress in the fashion in which we are, and making sure that we really take time and dedicate ourselves to, pretty much who we say we are, or who we want to be. Now, everything is progression. Not everything will be done overnight. Some things we may take some time to get to that point. Once we realize who we are, we have to act on it. And sometimes it does take us very long to find out who we are. Sometimes it could take us from childhood, from birth till like 50 or 60 to figure out exactly who you are and what you want to do, and that's okay. As long as you figure it out and you enjoy going through those changes of the spiritual growth in order to get to that concept of your life. Now, some people can already know from birth on that this is where they want to go, that this is who they are, that this is the choices that they want to make with their lives. And their plans in their minds are strategic in getting and obtaining to that purity of lifestyle. So it's very important that we try our best not to waste a lot of time. But keep in mind, not everything that you do is considered wasting time, because again, it's a reasoning for everything. Sometimes other people can have other plans for you that with that connection. We can certainly may not have that way that you think that you should have. Um, and your life could be going accordingly and you just don't really realize it. In which case, it's all about acceptance. It's about accepting your spiritual growth, your spiritual pathway. Where is this leading me? Am I going down the fork in the road? Am I going to make these certain changes right away? Because sometimes changes do take different times. You might go through a different tunnel, and that different tunnel may lead you into an awkward place, and that's fine. But just understand, sometimes it's not about sometimes it's not about knowing that this spot led you into an awkward space, that led you into this direction. Sometimes it just basically deals with you going to that different level or stage within your life. And we have to begin to start looking beyond where we are in this life. And then we have to begin to start really touching on working with people that are into somewhat what we're into and that want to encourage us. And even if they're not into it, but the form of encouragement, the form of appreciation, and just someone investing in you. We need more investors. We need more investors in this life than critics. And I think that everyone, like especially social media, has taken criticism to a whole nother level. Um, Instead of people saying we get more, not we, but people in general would probably receive more positive feedback. I mean, I'm sorry, more negative feedback as opposed to positive feedback in social media, because everybody has a damn opinion, and we talked about this before. However, it's important that, you know, again, you do have to damn near have very much thick skin in whatever direction you want to go to. That's why it's always good to have investors, because you're gonna have some people that's gonna invest money into your projects. You're gonna have some people that invest love because they believe in you. You're gonna have other people that invest giving you props, giving you love, giving you celebration, like, hey, congratulations, I'm so proud of you, I'm glad that you have gone to this next level, you're a good person, don't worry about those haters, etc. And that right there can be very much of an investment, just as much as someone giving you money. Um, and also teachers, instructors, or investors, because they're investing time whether you pay them or not. They're still investing time into you. They're dedicating 5 minutes of their time to give you the jewels to get you to that next level. So you should definitely show appreciation to all these people, even family members. Like if you have a child and they decide to watch your child for you while you're doing this thing that you're doing, it's an investment because they see you as an investment, see you as an asset. Also, if someone takes time out to just call you, so if you purchase something from somebody, because I've had that a lot too as well. I've had people to call me and just be like, wow, they don't even know me from Sam. A lot of people that I do, business with, I've gotten a lot of calls. I'm talking about people I don't know, my vendors, for some of the things that I utilize have seriously just for love, for the love of it, have just really donated like a conversation and calling me and was like, look, I had this one woman, I bought some I think some cards or something from her, and she was like, look, I normally write on like the paper, thank you for your business, this and this and this, yada yada yada, but she said, I actually went to your website and she said, oh my God, we really need people like yourself. We really need people, and anytime you need anything, if you need extra money, if you need an investor, if you need this and that, I'll be happy to donate it to you, because of the fact that, and this is just somebody I bought something from, okay? And she was like a sweet lady, and then she started telling me her problems. I'm like, okay. But it was inspiring for someone else that you never met in your life. I didn't even give her any kind of reading. I didn't give her any kind of advice. I just really listened to her, and she said, I really needed that. And I appreciate your business, and I have so much love for you. And she did discount me though. Now that I did leave out, she discounted me, because for the original price it was a lot more, and she knocked it down like by $10. So I'm like, wow. So we really have to start. If somebody gives you $2, a dollar, look at that as an investment. If you have if somebody give you something for your child, they give you $1, anything during these days of time, even a penny is saying that they got love, some type of love for you. Stop looking at things as someone being cheap or they're mistreating you or making you feel a certain kind of way. Just understand that anytime somebody gives you something, it's for love. We have to stop being so critical and negative toward each other, especially family. Let me tell y'all something. On the terms of family, if family donate and give you something toward a bill, if it's $20, $30, $40, if you have a baby shower and they go and give you a $20 card, you know what? Your selfish self better accept that and thank them, because people don't have to do nothing for you nowadays. But the near pleasure of someone telling you hello is wonderful. As long as they're not disrespectful, talking about, hey baby, and all this other type of stuff. 'Cause I think this kind of disrespect. I don't want to be called baby. I don't even know you like that. But if somebody's like, hey, how you doing? It's so nice to see you say, you look really, I don't know you, but you look really great. I like your hairstyle. I like this or I like that. Man, that's an investment. That's still someone taking time out to say something to you. Someone saying anything to give it any encouraging words, or saying, yeah, I understand, or I feel you, or them adding you on social media if they email you. All of that is an investment. So we have to stop being so petty with each other, because this day and these days and times, man, we really, really, really need each other. We really need each other within our community, and we have to really start showing some freaking love, because that's what we really need. That's what's really going to help to heal us, is love, because a lot of people who, and I'm not saying everybody and truly everybody who suffer from different diseases because they're, mentally ill and this thing, but if you really do your study, you will find out that the happier you are, the longer your lifetime of life is, worthy of living. And who wants to walk around and be miserable all the time and not have that peace of mind? And and it's all about investing in each other and finding a way to make others feel good besides your damn self. I know a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, even as a entrepreneur myself, I find myself on a grind. I'm constantly on the grind, and sometimes it's really hard for me to take time out to really say hello to everybody. And some people might inbox me and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they might want to have a long conversation, and I might like, "Look, I have to, really get my business started. And I don't mean to be rude, but today is a day where I'm really having to grind." But I try my best to be really polite. You know what I mean? I try my best to be really polite because that person did take time out to try to shoot me an inbox, and that's really sweet nowadays. But I just don't. One thing I don't like on the terms of people sending inboxes is the whole macking stuff. I'm not really keen on that. Even if I wasn't in a relationship, I don't like that concept. I like people to generally be themselves. I'm a naturalist. I don't like people to try. Like, I don't necessarily like, I push my business, I try, you know what I mean? It's natural for me to talk about the things that I talk about on terms of my business and things like that. That's a natural thing for me, okay? Because I really believe in my product. If you don't believe in your product, people are not going to buy it. People are not going to want nothing to do with you. If you have not tried your product, that's another thing. People are not going to want to buy it. And you have to, for example, even as a healer, you have to be able to do readings and healings on yourself. If you can't heal yourself, then how the hell you going to heal everybody else, or at least attempt to? You know what I mean? So that's really important. And a lot of times I find myself, even as a healer, I don't just go to random people. I don't care if you are a friend or not. I'm just not going to go to you and let you practice on me, because I've had that done, and I wind up being psychically attacked, from different, associates of mine, practice and wanting to learn how to do different techniques. And I wind up getting sick. And so you have to be mindful of that. And also you have to, not only as, even on getting healed, you have to be able to also follow instructions and start trying to heal yourself. Is along with, you have to do not necessarily heal yourself, but do the work along with the practitioner. But I just want to tell everybody to really accept people's investments. If somebody give you $1.50, if someone show you love, if someone dabs you Facebook thumbs. I don't like Facebook thumb. No, yeah, I hate that. It's like kind of rude. Like, it's like, I rather somebody smile or something. I think smile is more positive. Facebook thumb is like whatever. But anyway, and I know I'm gonna get a whole bunch of Facebook stuff after this video because I said I don't like it, but whatever. So anyway, also I do want to make a mention. It's something else that has been brought to my attention. I remember a couple of times I did like some vending in different places, and I had people that know that they don't really, in their mind they felt like they was in competition with me, but I'm not in competition with anybody. And a lot of times they come over to your table just to check you out, to see what you got, so they can basically try to take your idea. But it is what it is. But let me just tell you something for the record. I don't go, the things that I use in my healings, I don't necessarily go off of that. A lot of my stuff comes from family remedies and different things like that. And I've studied under different herbalists. And I also have like a book that has and contains certain things from a family member. I won't say who that is, but I have a lot of things. And some things I've maybe gotten off the net, but I've always perfected it in a different type of way. So I might send you like a little spell that I found that was great, that I know that works. But the ingredients that I send to you along with that spell, or manifestation, excuse me, not spell, but manifestation. but it's not necessarily what is in there. I always use different things that I know that works, and I add to it that I've tried to use myself, or I've used for a client, because I have a group of people that I'll have a part of the study, and they'll try it out, and I will find out like how it worked and this and this and that. So is copy. So I don't really tell people what's in my product, because that's my product. And I'm not going to have anybody making money off of what I've, passed on, what's been passed on to me. So that's not righteous. Maybe after I'm gone, I'll definitely keep my stuff within my family line, which makes sense. All herbalists and things like that should. They might have, similar ingredients, but they might put a different set of portions. So what they do may not work for you because of the fact that they put in different portions. So I remember looking at this one video where this sister was breaking down how, she was trying to become an herbalist for herself, for her family. And she began to start using different herbs and kind of blending them and figuring out how it works for you. And that's cool. I definitely understood where she was coming from with that. But for me, a lot of stuff, like I said, has been passed down, family heirloom, and some things, I've gotten and just added to it. And it's just, from that perspective, not just because I'm trying to ensure that no one copies me. It's not just about that, but it's just about being able to. Hey, sis. Cool. I see you on Facebook saying that you tuning in anyway. So, no, I'm not going to, uh, share certain things with people. I'm not share my recipes. That doesn't make sense, because I don't want nobody sharing no recipes with me. You know what I mean? So it's like I do unto others how I do unto them. If they have lotions and stuff like that, I don't want to know what's in your lotions, but you can sure sell it to me. And even if we do wholesale, I sell it. You know what I mean? And that be that. But again, I think it's really important that we as business women and business people begin to start, supporting each other, instead of going to like Walmart, instead of going to all these big businesses that's really taking over and not really hiring us, not really appreciating us. I know it's kind of a random video. I'm kind of talking about some of everything, huh? Anyway, so these folks is not really paying for us, and then the workers that work there, they treat like shit. So we really want to get our people to, becoming entrepreneurs, and we can start doing trade amongst ourselves. So I'm trying to think what else this video was about. I had to look at the title again. But it's definitely important. The point is, and I said this earlier, is that we have to definitely know who we are. We definitely have to discover. And again, like I stated before, it may take a whole lifetime to figure out who we are, but the point is attempting to do so. Some people might discover overnight, and let me just tell y'all this, I also help people to discover who they are on the terms of business, even on the terms of career or trade, maybe what they want to go to school for. And I definitely counsel people with that too, because that's very important, because that is helping people to get to that ultimate happiness. Because if you're on a particular job, because I'm holding the other computer up, I can't do the other little quotes. But anyway, if you're on a particular job that you don't like, that sucks, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be miserable. You're going to come home miserable. Because I've had almost all my jobs have been miserable. I've only probably had one decent job, like for somebody else, that was pretty decent. It was easy, but I didn't like the energy. But, again, I was like, man, they fired me. I was just like, okay, whatever. But I'm better, honestly, and not everybody. Some people might be good for working with someone else, but for me, I'm better at working for thyself. Here and there, I might take, if I'm trying to get more of a savings, or I'm trying to get my inventory up a lot more, then sometimes I will take a plantation job just to, up that. and then I have the business. But I only last so long because after a while, either I'm gonna quit or they gonna fire me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And sometimes I'm telling you, I don't even have it planned. I'll just wake up out of bed right when I'm ready to go, and just look around, look to the left. Sorry, look to the left and look to the right, and I'm like, man, I don't know about this. This ain't working. So I end up going and quitting. And I do so good during the interview. I do the job well. Some of the jobs and some of the jobs is like to me don't make no sense because the way that a lot of people think, everybody thinks differently. And I don't think like everybody else. And either it's cut or dry. If I had to think so much on someone else's job, I'm not going to do really well at that. I'm just going to tell you. Because my brain be on trying to heal people, what I got planned by the time I get off. So again, I don't do well. But when on the times, if I'm focusing on helping somebody on the healing, my money and things like that, then of course I'm like, yes, all attention, all eyes on me. And if I'm not, then I will reschedule people. I'll let them know, hey, we have to reschedule this appointment because my energy is feeling weird. And I'm just honest with people. Pretty much, for the most part, all of my clients have totally understood it, have totally, because they know that I do good work and I'm honest with people. And I'm not fake. I don't have to pick up a tarot card and tell you anything. I'm not saying, and don't get on my post, and don't, people, please don't get into y'all feelings on this one. But I'm just saying, don't feel like because you use tarot cards that I'm calling you fake, because I'm not. I'm just telling you, for me, the way that I was taught, I naturally did not, never had to really use them. But then, of course, I started taking all these classes because some of y'all wanted me to be certified because y'all don't believe paper, because it got to be on paper. So I took some psychic courses. And I'm not gonna lie, I did learn some things out of that. It did help me to, tap in more so. So I can't necessarily complain about those courses, but what I can tell you is that you have to naturally already have it. So before you begin to start tapping into and becoming healers, um, really think about it, because everybody's not going to be a healer. I do believe that everybody's an artist, though. I think everything is an art form. Every single thing is a art form, and it's all about the beauty that you find within it to make it, more beautiful. Okay, so I think that even with me, like, I didn't necessarily want to. I had ambitions when I was very young and wanted to become a nurse, and I just couldn't deal with the whole people's bowel movement, throwing up, and it just grossed me. I was like, ugh. And then I could deal, and then I was like a doctor. I had to learn too many damn bones. I'm like, that's too many bones, that's too many schools, that's too much money. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be, I've always wanted to help people, but I just didn't know, you know, how I was going to help people, because I was always in the customer field. I was in the customer field. That's predominantly been all of my jobs. And I loved the energy that I got off of it. I was an energy junkie from it. And then, of course, I used to always touch people, and they would feel my energy. They'd be like, oh, you warm, or oh, you cold. Oh, that made my arm feel funny. I'm like, really? And then my uncle used to always tell me, well, you can lay hands on people. I was like, what? You sound crazy. So again, everybody, even me as a healer, everything of the healing technique, I try the best to get to learn everything. But for example, I'm certified to do sound therapy, but it's not necessarily something that I'm like, I'm not really into it, but I know how to do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. So if one of my clients be like, well, sis, I need a sound, could you, do some sound therapy on me? I'm like, okay, but I have to really, I have a passion for it, but I'm not as passionate for it like I am the other techniques that I have. So I pretty much find myself more. Am I freezing up? Okay, great. I pretty much find myself more in tune with the Reiki, the energy healing, anything along of the energy healing I'm more in tune with. So that's what I like more, and helping people to find things, giving them readings and things like that, and herbs and crystals and stuff like that. So I'm predominantly into that. I'm into selling jewelry that's about healing, that I could put some type of healing oils or um stuff like that. That's what I'm really into. Oils, washes, any of that to help people to heal mentally or physically or stuff like that. So a lot of majority everything I do is pretty much dealing with healing. Even when I start doing like clothes and outfits, they're gonna have like forms of healing in it. It's gonna come with some healing. I promise you. I'm gonna wash the stuff in healing. Um, so I think everybody has to really know who they are and know what they're wanting to get out of their life. Because again, life is way too short to not really be happy in what you do. And you don't want to keep going on a job from 9 to 5 and be miserable. So if you want to work for somebody else, then find something that you really like. Move to a different department. If the company has an opening, go to a different department. Go to management, consult them, and say, hey, I love my job, but I really would like advancement. How can I get advancement? You can always go to school. You can take trades, find the cheapest of the cheap, and just begin to really start working on who you are. And it's okay to stumble. It's okay to stumble along the lines. Every line is not going to be perfect. Some lines you may walk crisscross or ziggity zag, or everything is not walking straight down the middle. And I think a lot of times because we have certain dreams, and I do believe in dreams, trust me, but I think that because our dreams may go a little bit differently, then that we feel totally out of whack. And that's not always the case. You shouldn't feel like that. You should feel like, okay, well, I'm going to try it again. Maybe if I tweak it a little bit better, it'll work best for me. Or sometimes you just have to be appreciative of the fact that you're able, like you're in class or you're in school and you're able to at least get that B plus. You might not get that A, but you got that B. You passed. You know what I mean? Um, so don't take it like that, or just try harder. So just think about who you are and who you want to be, because a lot of times who you are and who you want to be are totally different, because that's inside of your head. And you have to think about, how do I become that person that's inside of my head? How do I challenge myself, and how do I get to that point where I no longer feel like a hypocrite? You know what I mean? And it's not about you being a hypocrite. It's about you aiming and striving to become that person, um, and not being so critical of yourself. But it's just like saying, to people, hey, I'm a vegan. But yet sometimes you'll slip and eat cheese. Okay, I mean, just say I'm a vegetarian, aiming to be a vegan. What's wrong with that? Is that not true? Are you lying? So also it becomes a thing of, since I'm glad I brought that up. Also it becomes a thing of just outright lying to yourself, and more important, well, lying to others, and more importantly, lying to yourself. So lying to yourself, it's a difference between, a lot of people say speaking into existence or manifesting. It's a difference between manifesting something and just outright bold lie. So that's something that, seriously, that has to be worked on, because of the way that the world is today. We do have to start working these goals, because we don't know how long we're going to be around. You don't know how long you're going to be around. You might walk out this door and you're dead. And then, then what you have left. So we have to really start encouraging ourselves to be the great of the great, and be the best at what you do. Being one of the best at what you do. And I know I am, and can't nobody take that from me. Period. So, happy day. I'm getting ready to sign off for here. I don't want to do too much, but I kind of wanted to touch base. I try to do a video once a day or once every other day. I try to. Sometimes I might do 3 in one day if I'm in the mood, but my energy level is getting really low. I need to wash dishes, and then I'm taking me a 2-3 hour nap from there. But I really appreciate everybody who is tuning in and watching my video. I appreciate your support. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I just do videos like from my heart. I don't necessarily do videos because, it's been some videos that I have taught on, and I do have some ones that I have taught. So you can definitely, subscribe to me and just kind of start going back through my videos and just, hey, see what I got. And definitely, I have a school. Let me mention this because I don't hardly mention it, but I have a school, Reiki School of Training and Certification, where you can go on to my website at www.ask314life.com and get any of my classes that I offer, and run else for some of them. Right now, I do have Reiki, and I'm probably one of the cheapest of the land. I should say inexpensive, which is $45.99. So you cannot beat that. So levels 1 through 18, and I also have other off brands of Reiki and just many other types of atonement classes. Anything really dealing with healing. If you don't see it on my website, just ask me for it because I probably have not put it up there yet. I just have not really had time. And then looking at my website, I already got so much on there that it'll be so congested. And so I don't want to necessarily put that on there. I did find me a great graphics person that would start doing my more of my flyers because I've been really regenerating my flyers. That's just not my forte. And I'm gonna be honest, so I'm not gonna sit up here, y'all. Speaking of that, I'm gonna sign off, but I gotta mention this. Some things is just not in my compass, okay? Some things is just not me. I'm not a graphics person. I'm not a flyers person. I don't really like writing. I will write because, again, I'm working on my doctorate. I'm still working on that. But it's a mental thing. It's not that I can't write. It's a mental thing because I don't like to write. So I have to manifest and clear my mind. And when I'm ready to start pushing it, because I'm halfway done with the paper to begin with. But anyway, it's very important that people understand their compass. Everybody can't be a Reiki grandmaster. Everybody cannot be a massage therapist. Like, I can massage, but I don't necessarily feel at this point in my life that there's something I necessarily want to do. You know what I mean? At first I did. This one sister was saying she a massage therapist. And I was thinking about myself, well, dang, that'd kind of be cool for me to do. But I don't know if I just want to massage everybody. I don't know if I want to massage somebody with a big old, hairy stain on their back. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me, y'all. But I'm just saying, again, to each his own, and just understand that everything is not for everybody. So I'm not necessarily knowing if that's something I want to do right now. That might be 5 years from now for me, but right now, probably not. So I do recommend everybody to know themselves, to know who they are, and if you don't know, question who you are. Come to somebody like me, Amira Sankofa Kwali, and I can certainly help you to find your purpose in this life. I'm really good at that. A lot of people that have come to me, I've definitely helped them to at least get the beginning stages of their purpose, because sometimes you just need a little nudge, and once you get that little nudge, you will find yourself like, okay, now I want to take this a step further, or I want to get into this or that. So again, I don't do competition. I do what I do. Others do what they do. To reach me, subscribe to me. Facebook, Amira Sankofa Kwali. My number is 502-208-9142. Thank you so much for tuning into my videos. Thanks for listening to me ramble about, what's going on. Knowing the self, knowing yourself, knowing yourself, knowing yourself. All right, to book me, and I ain't going to ramble during the speech. I promise I will have it all organized. But to reach me, to also get me to come to your town, call that number, book me, and I'll take care of you. Thank you. Have a blessed time.